What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here.
Rick in here.
And in today's video, we're going to break down exactly how to start closing your motivated sellers and start getting wholesaling deals. I'm going to show you the exact secrets. And I know a lot of you guys are asking yourselves, like, how does some people in wholesaling real estate just seem to easily close deals and always walk away with a contract? And I'm out here just struggling.
Yeah.
We're really going to break that. There's so many people like that. And we're going to break it down because I don't know how many times people ask us in our market, like they'll go up to you and they'll be like, Rick, how do you close these deals? This makes no sense. We go on the same appointments. I mean, it's all about acquisition skills, right?
Yeah. It's so many people teach the mechanics of dealing with motivated sellers. And I'm here to tell you, number one, first of all, there's no secrets. And number two, the mechanics are just exactly what they are, the mechanics. You've got to put the human being behind it.
Yeah.
So many of you out there think it's just about price and speed, and speed's a big part of it. But I'm going to tell you, I'm never the guy who's going to pay the most amount of money for it.
Nope.
And I often disclose it to our sellers. So how in the heck do I get such good deals and you get such good deals? Well, here's the secret. Yeah. It's because I pass down my skill sets to you, and without you,
company,
pretty much. And it's just how you deal with people. So you've got to, this isn't about selling. It's not about like running people over. Well, let's just break it down.
Let's break it down because, guys, in this video, as you said, there's no secrets on wholesaling acquisitions.
No secrets.
There's a lot of stuff that is suppressed very hard that you have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars in. And they're technically secrets. I'm going to call them secrets. But I think after today, there won't be any secrets. That's what I'll say. Because
rip it off.
If we were not here on YouTube or here on Facebook or here just on these lives, these secrets would just be hidden behind paywalls. People would be paying thousands and thousands of dollars, and we would not be able to go out here and start changing lives. So, guys, let's get up. Are you guys jacked up to learn acquisitions? Are you?
You got to get them jacked up, man.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Come on, man.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and get the guy go. Time to wake up, bitch, get up. Get up. Get up.
Let's go, guys. I'm pumped up. I'm excited.
I love that video.
I'm going to change lives today because I know exactly this video is going to help someone learn wholesaling real estate, exactly how to start closing deals and get it going. Let's go. Nicole got the dance moves out. We don't have much of the dance moves, but
Nicole, you don't want to see me dance.
You don't want to see them, but
you're going to shut that
I'm
channel
telling
off
you,
quick.
We're jacked up. That's the one thing. We ain't dancers.
Well, maybe we get a certain amount of likes. One of us got to get up and dance it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'll put that challenge out.
We'll see.
Maybe tomorrow.
But guys, let's get it going because I'm jacked up to start closing deals. I'm excited to teach you guys exactly how to start doing. I am pumped up. Like I am so excited to help you guys out. So before I get into it, guys, remember, you guys, I don't know if you guys hear me sometimes because I swear, but do it. Guys, please like that, smash that like button and subscribe. So there's one quick thing before we get into it. If you see that like button, I know a lot of you guys watching, this isn't live for you right now because you're watching the replay, but see that like button, click it. Click it, please. Lets me go live more and gets me more questions. Will help you because the more questions that get asked means we answer more questions. And some of these questions like, wow, that's great. I should have known that. You know, some might say, hey, what do I do if the seller starts ghosting me? And you might not have that question. And then I tell you, and then seller ghosts you, know exactly what to do. So guys, every time you like that video, two amazing things happen. Number one, get more questions asked, more people join the movement, and less gurus make money. Number two, I say it every time, but it's true. Every single time, you know what it is. Every time somebody likes this video, another guru cries.
That's funny.
It's true.
I thought you were going to go with the every time the bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
No, every time you like this video, a guru sheds a tear, and it's
Okay.
a beautiful thing. It brings a tear to my eye
Got
of
it.
beauty. So, guys, let's get it going. Everyone knows today is Thursday, so that means we got everyone in the Wholesaling Houses for Real Facebook group. Our mastermind, the largest mastermind in the entire country for wholesaling real estate. They're going to hop on. Guys, you want the link on there? Got to go to Wholesaling Houses for Real and hop on. And we're going to talk to some guys after we're done showing you exactly how to close deals. And people are going to ask us questions exactly, how to close deals. So, guys, it's an exciting one today. It's one of the most exciting days of the week for me, guys. Thursday night football's on tonight. I mean, it's an amazing day. So let's get it going, guys. I know I want to change people's lives, and let's get it going. So you're one of the best closers out there. So let's start from the top with you. What is the 80-20 rule, and why should people start implementing that with acquisitions? Because I think it's really important we talk about that before we even go into closing deals, right?
Yeah. So before we get into this, I want you guys to understand, most of you have heard the mechanics by now. When I say mechanics, build rapport, they're just steps. So it'd be like a manual. Correct. So freewholesaling.com. Today, what I'm going to do is teach you my skills that I shared with Zach that made him so successful.
And the ones I had to learn the hard way.
And anyone that has ever worked with me, you can't be a robot. So I'm going to go through it. I'm going to give you a couple starters. Number one, just be yourself. Like, you have to be comfortable in your own skin. Sellers can sense when you're not being authentic in yourself, because you can only carry it so long. So if you're with a seller for 40 minutes or in excess of an hour, and by rule, there is no like, how much I get all the time. How much time should I spend with a seller? As much time as it takes to get the deal done. Who cares? You spend thousands and thousands and hundreds, if not thousands of hours to get to that point. Who cares if it takes you 2 or 3 hours?
This comes back to the story I always tell everyone. Last year, we closed the deal. I had to go meet the seller 7 times in a row, like 5 to 7. I don't know the exact number, but I drove 45 minutes to their house 7 days straight. I think I didn't do the weekend, but like for every business day, 7 days in a row, I drove 45 minutes to their house. And it took that much to get the deal closed, but paid $40,000. Like, hey, let's do the calculation really quick. What's 40 divided by 7?
Go back, Zach. Go back.
It's like you make what, $5,500 every trip. If I made $5,000 just to drive 45 minutes, I would not be in wholesaling. I'd just be driving all day, right? So that brings us down. So what is the 80-20 rule?
So the 80-20 rule is, once again, we're not talking about mechanics, even though it sounds like a mechanical math equation. It means you need to use these 2 things God gave you much more than this. So 80% of the time you should be listening. Whenever you're in a conversation, rule number 1, I always told you, got to lose your ego in wholesaling. You have to lose your ego, or your ego will destroy this business. In my opinion, ego is probably the number 1 killer. How do I know people have a big ego? When they can't stop talking about themselves. I can do this. I can do that. I can do this. I can pay that. Forget it. You need to listen to the seller's story. So if, it doesn't even matter. Like, most of these rules can apply to like general life.
Yeah.
So if you have a partner, if you're married, you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, if you have kids, listening will make people feel understood. And sellers know, kids know, significant others know, boyfriend, girlfriends know when you're not listening.
It's called active listening also.
Correct.
But this is another hidden part. This is one of the secrets, and we're going to go really deep into everything today, because I'm sorry, but I want to go really deep in the weeds for acquisitions, because I think it's really important people just learn how to do it again. I want to really break down some of the nuances. So one big nuance is, this better than anyone, especially with probates and really difficult long-term deals,
especially probates.
You can build rapport without even saying a word, just by listening. Build rapport with your ears. Yeah. That's kind of crazy to think about, but just listening to someone will just build that connection. It's crazy.
Now, it doesn't mean you don't speak at all.
Yes.
But the idea is, the more
when you speak, it's very efficient
and
calculated.
But the more they talk, the more it will reveal their story, their motivation for selling.
Mm.
And most of the time, they're going to volunteer like 70% of the information,
Yeah.
right? They're going to tell you, I want to move on this date. Sometimes they throw out the price, not always. They're going to tell you, their financial situation, why they haven't fixed the house up, and they'll actually do your job for you. Your job is to just help guide them down that journey. So building rapport, the most effective way is do the 80-20 rule. And I find so many people that get in these courses, it's like have you ever had someone just try to tell you a story and like you're impatient and just like get to the point?
Yeah.
We all want that. But you can't do that with sellers. You can't be like, okay, when do you need to sell? What's the price? What day are you moving? What if I offered you all cash, what's the lowest price you take? That's what we all want to do. But you just got to open up a conversation.
Yeah.
A lot of times, some sellers will talk a lot, and that's where your 20% guides them down the road. But if you start out dominating the conversation, guys, it falls apart quickly. So 80% of the time, let them talk and then use that as a cue for signals of motivation, time, price. And then you can walk them down your funnel and get the information. And most importantly, if you're an active listener, you build rapport. So let them talk. The truth is, human nature is, we all like to talk more than the other person.
Oh, you're a big extrovert, so it's easier for
think
you.
so? I talk. Like, I can't shut up.
Well, that's
sometimes.
the thing. I mean, the best salespeople are actually introverts because they know how to actively listen. Now, there's great extroverts that are great at talking, but the great extroverts at closing know how to talk and share empathy with someone,
Yeah.
Some of the extroverts that have big egos, they're going to get killed. So the 80-20 rule basically states in a really quick sentence, if you want to write things down, there's 100% of a conversation, right? You do a 10-minute conversation. 80% of the conversation should be them talking, and 20% of it should be you talking. And from an outside perspective, you never did real estate or sales, you're like, that's not how conversations go. It should be 50-50, right? No, because you're 20%. If you say the right things, it will be you only need 20%. And what is that? What are you supposed to do for that 20%? One thing. Ask questions.
Ask questions.
You ask questions. You don't get into I, unless they specifically ask you like a specific, like, hey, are you from Port St. Lucie? Are you from Stuart, Florida? Like, are you from Phoenix, Arizona?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's important. Or what's your process like? Of course, answer that, but you should be asking questions. And this goes back to the 4 pillars of wholesaling: motivation, condition, time frame, price. But really, it's about asking questions.
And that's how you learn. If you're listening, you're learning. If you're speaking, unless you're directing a conversation, which allows that 20%, you're not learning anything.
Yeah. So
if I only have an hour with a seller, I want them to speak 80% of the time. I need to get as much intel as humanly possible. I mean, computers only going to tell you so much. So when you listen, God gave you 2 of these, only 1 of these, use it and you'll learn and you'll walk out. In my opinion, usually we'll walk out with a deal or a shot. Now, say they don't do a deal with you. Like, not everyone takes it out. If 2 or 3 other wholesalers come behind you and they just me, I do this, I do that. 9 out of 10, they call us back and they go, my God, you were so right. These people just ran me over. And
it's how specific you say the words. Yeah. So if you go something like, well, what can we do to help you out? We, you and I versus I, it helps so much. Just the little tiny stuff. So guys, asking the right questions is great. I think one thing we tell all the time, we scream it from the hilltop. Ask questions, especially on like the appointment. Ask questions to answers you already know. And let's all right, let's hold on there. What does it mean to ask questions on things you already know?
Well, I mean, if you have kids, I'm showing my age here, but honestly, guys, if you have a girlfriend or gals, you got a boyfriend, you can steer someone down a conversation if you know the answer. So
not like that, but I'm talking about the
sellers. So
yeah.
If you already know the answer, like if you so in Florida, we talk about like a CBS home, concrete block homes. So we know a lot of the details. So we go into our listrei.com account. We already know the comps. We know the ones that work. we know what the house is made of. We know the square footage. So if the house is 1,500 square feet and the seller tells me it's 2,100, I said,
Yeah.
Mr. Seller, how many square feet are under air? And he says, I think it's about 2,500. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. How did you come up with that number? And you start figuring out he's throwing in the garage, he's throwing in that. Hey, what's the house made of? Well, I don't know. Sometimes they say, or they'll say it's wood frame. I'm like,
Or when you're there, you can be like, this looks like a concrete block house. Yes, it is. Wow,
Yeah.
this guy knows his stuff.
so, and then the key on that is I don't embarrass them or like,
No.
you're wrong. I'll walk out and I go, yeah, it's funny because see how the windows kind of flush? Most of the wood frame homes that come up, they're flush like this. If you see your neighbors, it's indented. But
Well,
maybe the tax appraiser has it wrong.
Well, no, or maybe they have this big ego, like, no, it is what it is, concrete block. You don't know what you're talking about, Rick.
Okay.
You know what? I probably am wrong. Let's just go to the property appraiser and look.
Yeah. So now you can.
Oh shoot,
Yeah,
Mr. Seller, it says concrete. They probably got this wrong. But
Yeah.
Didn't they get the permit when it was built? You know, and they're like, oh, okay, fine.
But
You know,
that's part of your 20%.
and then you get a big discount on the house.
Yeah.
So that's the next one, guys. Knowing how to ask the right questions is super important. And here's the one thing. Now we ask those questions like, why does wholesaler A here close $30,000, $40,000 deals? Why everyone else in that market is only scrapping $4,000 or $5,000 deals? And the biggest mindset shift in acquisitions when you're closing your sellers of going from doing $5,000 deals to $40,000 deals, it doesn't take more skill. It doesn't even take, more hustle. It's only one thing. And it's because you guys just aren't lowballing your sellers enough. And it kind of sounds a little rude to say to lowball your seller, but remember, this is patented from you. Your sellers are going to highball you. So if you midball them, you're not going to get a good price. You'll make $4,000 or $5,000, and you will feel nice inside that you got the deal closed, like you're a closer. But it's more uncomfortable when you have to have that conversation again, like, Mr. Seller, we need a price reduction. That hurts a lot more, right?
It's much more painful. So a low ball, I've always said go for no on the first answer. You do it tactfully. It doesn't mean you offer an 80% discount, but so many people I see sometimes on our Facebook page are like, I threw it out there, I didn't get any offers, and they go, hey, Rick, Zach, what did I do wrong? Well, 9 times out of 10 it just means you paid too much for it.
Yeah.
And you were so quick to get a yes that now you're going to get a ton of no's, which if you go for the no first, which means, hey, Mr. Seller, I can offer you like, I don't know, like maybe 70,000, and just you sit back. It gives you an option because usually they're going to give you a reaction. They're going to give you an instant counter. There's no way I can go that low. The least I can do is 85,000. So as you were going to spit out 100,000 because you were scared you're going to get rejected. I'd rather you get rejected first and then get a million yeses afterwards. There's nothing worse than getting a contract, not being able to sell it, and then having to go back and have that conversation with the seller. I've done it. It's beyond painful. So I'd rather you get the best price up front. You deserve it. Your family deserves it. And it makes disposing that property so much easier. Do you agree?
It's an epidemic in wholesaling real estate. I agree. I've been telling everyone, whatever you're about to offer your seller, like off the bat, shave 15% off and offer that.
But why do you think they don't do that?
It's fear of rejection.
Correct. So guys,
you want to go for a no.
You have to go for the no. It's much less painful in the long run. And I'm going on 20 years in this business. And I can tell you how many times I've gone out there and I make an offer and they reach their hand out with enthusiasm and go, you have a deal, Rick. And I just sit there and look at them. It is the most sinking feeling. Even though I got a deal, it means you left money on the table. Listen, I want a win-win for everyone. I want to steal it, but let's face it, all sellers, 9 times out of 10, they're not telling you the complete truth about the house. We have a couple right now where we have like major, we have foundation. We got plumbing issues. Thank God we buy them like dirt cheap because I anticipate.
That's one. We have a big plumbing issue in this house. We were going to make maybe 80 on it, which is,
but
now we're probably going to make 60. Now we're going to make 60 because of the plumbing issue. Like,
So in the old days, I used to go for like make $5,000, $10,000 on a deal. I'm going to tell you, like our average margin, it's ridiculous because I don't want to run around and do 10, 15 deals a month and have a giant staff. So I'm saying when you initially meet with them, you call it a low ball offer. I call it go for no. We have kind of different terminology on it. But if you can get through that process, it is uncomfortable. You'll have butterflies in your stomach. I tell you, it's a lot less painful on the backside when nobody wants to buy your deal. And then you got to go back. And why is the seller going to give you a discount? Like you gave them an offer. There's no reason to do it. So it's, guys, go for the no on the first one. It's a little awkward, uncomfortable. You get through the first one or two, I promise you'll do it every time. It's one of the biggest secrets that has made me so successful. Obviously, it's helped Zach out. And I just want to share it with you guys. I have never seen a course that shares this information. Guys, understanding, I'm not telling you to go cut them at the knees and offer an 80% discount.
Well, there's some good stuff here. Like, I mean, let me show you. So Nancy has a great one here. Hey, that happened to me. Seller wanted 80 for the property. My stomach dropped when I offered $40,000. He straight up told me no, ended up getting for 55.
Guys, so it's better than Manny going in and offering like 70 off the bat, and then he wind up at probably at like 80. Guys, listen, I want everyone to have a win-win situation. I want the seller to be happy, and I want you guys to make a handsome profit. But this thing where people are making $3,000 to $5,000 a deal, like, listen, if that's what you got to do to get started and get the confidence, go for it. But just by using the right words, you can multiply your return on that by 5 times just by using a couple words.
Yeah.
And you can take that money, you can put it towards marketing, you can do whatever you want. You can pay off a lot of debt. And I'm telling you, the validation when you make a deal like that. Now, listen, it doesn't always work out that way. Don't like run me under the bus. But I'm telling you, if I have 20 sellers in front of it and I offer that 20 times, I will 5 times my return every time. And somebody is out there teaching people, just get everything under contract. Don't worry, buyers will pay whatever. Who cares? You want the best deal forward. If you have room in it, if there's a problem with the property, you're not in trouble. Remember the one property we did a while back? Somebody told us it had Chinese drywall. Remember you came back to me as like, this is early. And Zach goes, I think it has Chinese drywall. The realtors told me. I go, hey, don't worry about it. We bought it so cheap. Who cares? And it never had it. It was just a scare tactic. But guys, if you have like $5,000 margins and you have like a major plumbing issue, and sometimes it doesn't come up
like crazy, but it was the copper, but we're not going to get into that. But so we got someone who's telling you sometimes they get turned off by the lowball offer and don't want to talk anymore. So does that invalidate your argument?
No, because I only have so much time on a live here. That's why me and Zach have the only free wholesaling course out there, and it's the best one by far. We teach you techniques on how to drop.
We don't have the only one. There's people that have free wholesaling courses out there. The issue is
they're funnels.
They're the only issue
not
is once you sign
cakes.
up for the other free ones, when the other free wholesaling courses, it's all going to be like, all right, here's about 15% of what you need to know. Want the rest, cough up 10K. Sorry, book a call. We won't tell you how much it is,
and I'll send you a bill.
I hate when I get asked this, like, well, the seller's not going to talk to me anymore. Well, it's really how you do your offer. And that's the difference between a wholesaler that's making $100K a year versus $1 million per year wholesaler.
Yeah.
It's a mindset.
So
it's how you give the offer.
Yeah. And if you've built up rapport and you spend time with them, it's not going to happen that way. And in the freewholesaling.com course we teach you how to do like what we call a third-party diffusion, where it's like, we're going to actually make you look uncomfortable, which you are. Like, let's face it, guys, it's not fun doing these things. And then a lot of times the sellers feel bad when you go, oh, well, what if I just offered you like 50,000? Is that's like, but if you wouldn't take it, the worst case scenario, it's old school. To be honest with you, it's called what we call a trial close.
Exactly.
You throw it out there and they go, heck no, Rick. I go, yeah, that's what I thought. And then I'm going to recircle and I'm going to pull as much information as I can by using my ears and let them talk you through it, why they can't take that offer. And now I'm going to try to draw them and find that final price.
Or another thing I used to do all the time when I was starting out is, or like we have our acquisitions people do it. It used to be good cop, bad cop. That's how you'd get people not to walk away from you. Like you say that seller's just going to walk away. You know, you can't lowball. You have to highball everyone. That mindset's going to make you $5K per deal. And you'll
go broke.
I mean, I appreciate you asking the comment. It's going to help me a lot of people, because some people in other YouTube lives, they see that and like, okay, I'm going to highball everyone. Here's the thing. You do good cop, bad cop, you can lowball all day. This is what I used to do, and this is what our acquisitions people do now. You know, it probably needs a lot more work than I expected, Mr. Seller. My partner Rick here, he's actually my dad. But before we get on, we were kind of talking, and he told me not a penny over $50,000 for this, and it needs even more work than that. So I'm probably closer to like 35. That's just from what he's been telling me. Oh, I never do 35. Hey, that's Rick's crazy. Like he's crazy. Like he's not here with you, but that's where he's at. So that's where he's at. Like, what are you at? I'm at 100. Well, okay, so Rick's gonna kill me if we go over 50. So what can I do? Can you do 60? Well, Rick's at 50. You know what? He's gonna absolutely kill me if I do this. But you know what? Let's do 55. He's gonna kill me, but let's do 55. And guess what?
I'll sort it out with him. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll sort it out with him. And our acquisitions people, they're the good person. Guess who's the bad guy now? I'm the bad guy.
You always make me the bad one.
But no, in the beginning, you're the bad one. Now I'm the bad one. The acquisitions person's the good one.
Yeah.
If you do it like that, they can't be mad at you, because they're going to be mad at
the other person. And then the other one you can do also is that, you know what? Like, let me know if this works. I know my partner's got $55,000 in the bank account ready to go, liquid cash right now. Is that something that would work for you, or is like you're not interested? And then you go up. Listen, I'll just make up the difference. If I get fired over it, it is what it is. If I had to go to 60, but the thing is, you have a lever. When you guys go in and you dominate the conversations and you run the sellers over and you don't spend the time with them, and you say, what's the least amount you take, all cash offer? And that's how I was taught. Like, for full disclosure, you just run them over. And when you lowball them, just like, they go, well, I don't know what you're offering. You go 50 grand. They're like, there's the door, get out.
And they're like, well, this wholesaling stuff sucks. Yeah.
So let me get, have you ever had that annoying friend over in your house and it's going really well, and then like they're starting to say stuff, they're like churning you off, they're actually starting to annoy you? You never really kick them out because they're your friend, right? Even though you want them out of your house, but you kind of like rush it along. You try to get it done within an hour, and that's your worst case scenario with a seller. Now, if you have a salesman that comes to the door knocking on your door at dinner time, how fast do you slam the door in their face?
Yeah.
So that's it, guys. You've got to befriend them. You got to go through with the 80-20 rule. You've got to build rapport. And guys, you can't be a drill sergeant. You have to have a conversation with these people. I sit down and have conversations with people. Period.
That's it. Brandon says right here, I have a seller who wouldn't take any lower offers than what he wants. Would you still push the button and give a lower offer? Brandon, this is pretty important. This is with like hot leads. If someone wants too much of the house, you still help them sell the house. Those are the two things. They need time to go down in price.
Mm-hmm.
If they want the most money, they should always list it. Always push the listing on it. I think, Brandon, another thing you can always do is if they give you certain languages, like, Brandon, give me your bid. I'm going to bid out the other people and get the highest price. It's not a good deal, you know?
Yeah, you're dead. Guys,
go ahead.
If you pay the most, who has that saying, whoever pays the most wins? A lot of that's a marketing term. Whoever pays the most for the customer wins. To be honest with you, that doesn't really work in wholesaling. I've tried it every which way. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to overspend on marketing. And if you guys think you can outbid a deal, then you might as well just go on Zillow, bid on properties there. You can go on MLS.
Yeah.
We get so many people like, I can't get a deal on MLS because we don't go to the MLS to get deals.
I'm not here to bid.
If you're going to bid, you're going to lose. You'll win the bid, but you're going to lose money on the deal, hands down.
So Brandon, if you're here to bid it, don't be a bidder. And that's the only thing. Hey,
it's just not the right customer.
It's not the right customer. And obviously wholesaling is like baseball, in the analogy of you can get all the pitches in. You don't have to swing. The cool part, there's no strikes in wholesaling. There's strikeouts, but there's no strikes, because if a ball's coming and you don't like it, you don't have to swing. You see an offer, you don't have to sign the contract.
Engaging unmotivated sellers honestly, just figure out where you want to put them in your follow-up.
And Brandon, they probably don't have a time frame if they want to bid it out, get the most
Yeah.
for it. So just let inflation go up a little more until they hit their price, right? We get deals sometimes on people like that. That I'm not selling until I hit 100, and it's like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And now the property's worth like 150, and they're like, "Oh, okay, 100." You know,
They're in your follow-up, and,
Yeah.
and we just work through it. But like, you try not to spend too much
Yeah.
time with people like that. So it's in the beginning, you get a lot of those because that's all you know, and it just takes time and a skill to work through them. So
that's it. So the next one here is for acquisitions, just master to start closing your deals. You need confidence, and I would say that's the one thing that you absolutely need for just success. You know, if you're going to go in there without any experience, if you have confidence, you can still close a deal. And confidence and the things that come from confidence, and that's the most secret no one really talks about, is the things that will come from having confidence. This is your back's more straight when you're confident. You look people in the eye, probably smile, and you'll talk and speak with care and authority. And that's just, confidence is so important.
confidence is everything. And I want you to understand, well, Rick, how do I get confidence if I've never done a deal? Well, this is the fun part.
Yeah.
You are going to have to strut around like a peacock, and you have to understand the difference between confidence
And ego.
and cocky. It's a fine line, and you
Yes.
guys see it all the time out here. Okay. The way me and Zach are, we are ourselves, but in front of the seller, you have to be, for better term, you have to be the authority figure, because they're relying on you, because they're, a lot of times they're confused, they're lost. They don't want to use a realtor in MLS, and they just want to get the property sold. So they have to have a belief in you, because a lot of time there's usually one person in the family that's entrusted to liquidate the asset, and they're reaching their trust out to you because he or she's got a husband or a wife, they have kids, they're relying on you to come through. And if you do not exude confidence, you do not, it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
So you haven't done a deal, you don't have confidence. You got to have confidence in yourself. How do you get confidence? First of all, you go through and you practice and you rehearse. I've always say, do not practice on live customers. That is a very expensive trial.
Yeah.
So what I would do is take your old leads, any old leads or people that are asking for too much, and just have fun with it and practice and be confident with people. And let me tell you what, I've had deals where I've gone through and tried a new technique. I never try them on new customers because I don't know how they're going to react. It's
Or
very
sellers,
expensive.
yeah.
And then occasionally you get a deal on a dead lead and you're like, your confidence goes through the roof. But what I'm telling you is you have to be confident that you're making strides. So in the first like month or two, if you're striking out, you're not having confidence, long as you're moving forwards, you have to exude confidence with it. And when you get that first deal, what happens is a light switch goes off and you go, oh my God, this works. So you have faith, and then the confidence comes from complete validation.
Well,
So-
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's another thing about confidence. And this is a analogy you love. I don't know why we've used this analogy so many times, but it works so well. Is how confident are you making a PB&J sandwich? Very confident.
Dude,
right?
I'm hungry. It's
I
not
know
a good
you're
one.
hungry, but how confident are you making a PB&J sandwich?
I am. I don't let my wife make it anymore. Your mother.
No, but you're very confident. And I mean, here's one thing. I have never in my life, I'll say this right now, I have never made a chicken pot pie in my life. I'm pretty confident I can make one. Is it because do I have the experience of making a chicken pot pie? No, but I know I have the tools. I can go to the store. I know I can go to the store. I can go watch a tutorial, and I'm confident I can do it.
Go to the frozen food section.
Yes. But like, I'm confident I can do it. And I've never made one my entire life. So I've never done a real estate wholesaling deal my entire life, but I'm confident I can go out there and get a deal sold. Why? Because the secrets aren't there. They're all out there. Like, I mean, you remember back in the day, you used to have to buy a cookbook to learn how to do things. Who's that lady? She was on like PBS. She was like really famous for cooking.
You got the
Back in
wrong
day.
guy.
She's one of those people, like before all those cooking people. Guys, I have confidence to do it now. And you guys should have the same confidence when doing it. And it'll help you close your deals.
Yeah, you have to have the confidence before you do the deals, or you will never get the deal.
Yeah.
And you need to get a deal done to validate your confidence, because it'll shoot you through the roof. So you're going to have to take a leap of faith. And part of that in this business, it's not really taught. So this like fake it till you make it. No, you just work hard and you practice. People know when you're fake. If you're not authentic, you're not yourself. You're never going to be comfortable and you're going to quit this business. So find out what you're good at. So if you're like good at humor and you make people laugh and you do it naturally, bring it in your conversation.
Yeah.
If you're a charismatic person and you have a charm about you, put that edge on it. And if you don't know what it is, do me a favor, just go to your family, wife, spouse, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, whatever, and ask them, what am I best at when I talk to you? Like what brings that? And they will tell you. And everybody has a different skill set. God gave us different tools. The key is you accent what you already have. And remember, for those of you that are super young, we're seeing people 16, 17 on the channel. I don't care that you don't have the skill. You have the enthusiasm and the energy to blow any guy like me out of the water. It's just the truth. Okay. You have time. And if you use your time wisely and you educate yourself on how to help people out, I tell you, I love young, energetic, enthusiasm people because I feel like they're going to run through a brick wall for me.
Exactly. And this is kind of what we're talking about. So guys, with confidence, another tip here, speak with care and authority. Speak like you have empathy, like you care about the seller, and speak with authority like you know what you're talking about. It'll help you so much. Next here is run through a wall to get the deal done.
Oh, I just said that.
And,
yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the difference, though. Run through a wall to get the deal sold. And what does that mean? Maybe you're not going to buy the house, but run through a wall to make sure that seller gets their house sold.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if they want too much, still run through a wall. Hey, I know this great realtor. They'll help you. I know you need to get it sold. I don't even care if I buy it. I just want to help you.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you.
So we go on every appointment telling people, and I know we're going to get to it, but part of your beginning conversation, no matter what happens, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, I'm going to help you get this house sold, even if I don't buy it.
Yes, and they will trust you.
They're like, wow, that's great, because they assume if you don't buy it, you're just going to cut them off and walk out the door.
It's not run through a wall to get the deal signed, because then you start doing not good things.
Yeah.
Like even you can't do not force a seller to sign if they don't want to. I know people like, I remember one analogy is like, act like your whole life's on the line to get a deal sold, or your family's life. You know, something bad's going to happen. They don't get the contract.
It was
someone who said that. It was
a weapon or a gun.
Yeah. We're not going to say that word
that's crazy.
On the algorithm, but you know, someone said you have to go use a weapon or
you
something.
Got like 30 days of your life.
Yeah, 30 days or your life's on the line to get a deal sold or done. You'll start doing very unethical things. That's the worst advice I ever heard in my life. So run through the wall to get the deal sold and help someone out. That's all I can say from there.
So I'm going to share a little dirty secret here. It's not a dirty secret. It's the truth. When you guys go in and meet with the sellers, do not bring any paperwork with you.
Have it in the car.
Have it in the car. Okay.
Yeah. You walk in with like this huge bag. And
I got to tell you, man, when people walk into me to try to sell me stuff and I see like a file this thick, my eyes are constantly looking at that. I'm trying to get like a peek of what's going on. You will lose them. You won't build rapport. And I learned this the hard way. When I want to go, they're agreeable. It's working out. Hey, Mr. Seller, you mind if I just go to the car and let me get everything for you? And guess what? I'll walk you through it.
It lets them think about the whole deal for like a brief 30, 45 seconds. And I want them to think about it. Like, correct. I'm not here to be like, okay, got the deals done. Sign it right here. Go. Like, let's think about it. Like, you know what? If you're comfortable with it, let's get it done today.
So when you walk in, just like when you walk in a friend's house, you don't bring like a briefcase and a pile of paperwork. So don't do it with your sellers. Guys, a lot of this stuff is like really common sense. Nobody teaches this stuff. And it is the difference between getting a $5,000 deal and a $30,000 or $40,000.
Nobody teaches empathy in wholesaling. It's not cool or it's not manly to care about. It's business. It's not manly to care about your seller. Guys, that'll give you the most money possible. I think making money, I guess, manly or not. I get asked that question all the time. Guys, have empathy with your sellers. It'll help you so much. And the next one here is using the right language and the right inflections. And what do I mean by inflections? So that's the first one. Like a lot of people are like, what's an inflection? It's the way you talk. It's the way you kind of pronounce it. So the best way I could describe it is like a sales voice, you know. Hello, Mr. Seller. This is Zach Ginn here. And how are you doing today? What does that inflection remind you of? A salesperson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mr. Seller, how are you doing today? Hey, this is Zach Ginn right here. And that's like a salesy type thing.
It's fake.
Now, it's fake. It's the right inflection. Use something that's natural for you. Know, Hey, how are you? This is Zach. Hey, how's it going today? That's just something I naturally say. Now, is that the most professional? Hey, how's it going? Probably not. How are you today? That's just not who I am. And when I don't like just censor myself, now obviously if you use curse words, don't with sellers, like just don't. But it's the only type of censoring I would say. But guys, using the right language, and what I mean by right language is, this, you don't say certain words, like you don't say contract, like the right language is everything.
Yeah, and we teach it all in the freewholesaling.com. I can't cover everything in here, but remember, when you're with someone, 70% of a deal is what's the word I'm looking for? Is nonverbal traits.
It's not what
your
you
hands,
say.
your eyes, and tell you, if you guys want to take this to the next level, you don't have to learn it from me. I've learned this from other people. Is you can take courses and free courses.
YouTube.
You go on YouTube and you can learn about NLP practices, or like how people, like when they look up, what does it mean? When they look down, what does it mean?
NLP is
neuro linguistic
programming.
Yes.
Yeah. Guys,
so
it's all free info. You don't have to
that was in
for
the
it.
80s. It was like really, really big. People paid a fortune for it. I paid for some of them in the early 2000s. I'm just telling you, learning how people think and doing a little psychology will help you out. It's not required, but the biggest thing I cue on people is eye. So first of all, eye contact, but like when they look down, when they look up, when they look to the side, guys, you can Google it. You can like, humans have tendencies. So if you study it and you understand it, you're the authority. Remember, you're not trying to take advantage of them. You're trying to help them out. You're trying to guide them in a decision. And a lot of times we look around the house, it's in complete disarray. There's water running out like the back of the wall. It's like, they need help.
Yeah.
They need help. Your job is to truly help them out. There is no other way to put it. And so you need to understand them. So cue in on the nonverbal cues.
That's it. And right language. It's like, I think one big tip I can give to you right now if you're watching is, if you're trying to close the deal, you can start, going in the future a little with our conversation. It will subconsciously increase your chance of getting a deal signed. So one thing is like, so when I buy this house, the one thing I would say is, we're going to take some time. I got to go look through it. Maybe my partner's going through it, but I think it's something, we'll probably buy it pretty well. I think we're really going to like this. Stuff like that's like when I buy the house, and when your seller asks you questions, it helps you know the engagement of it. So it's like, well, and then when they ask you these type of questions, like, well, if you buy the house, or, what would the time frame be if you bought this? Like they're thinking in terms of he's going to buy the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty important to do. So the next one here is, I want to ask you guys a question, and this is for my under 30 crowd. So this can help.
Should I leave?
No.
Sure.
Okay. No, you've seen me run around as a kid with this thing. Guys, what is this? I think I have the thing on there.
What is that?
It? So this is called a ditto. This is called a ditto. Okay.
I'm lost.
It's called a ditto. A ditto is a type of Pokemon.
That's the actual name, Ditto?
His name's Ditto, yes. And Ditto is a type of Pokemon, okay? So this is a Pokemon. His name is Ditto. And what Ditto does, the type of Pokemon Ditto is, where is it? I'm trying to... what Ditto was he's a type of Pokemon, and this is from the late 90s, early 2000s, is whatever opponent he'd go after, is he would just form into that. So if Ditto was going after a tiger, he would turn into a tiger. So he would copy that person, kind of like a chameleon.
Okay.
So the point is, you got to be like a chameleon or like a Ditto. The thing is, you have to not copy your sellers, but the way they are, you want to match the personality. You want to form into their personality by having the same one as you. One example, we're talking, you're a seller, I'm a buyer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the wholesaler, right?
Yeah.
You start talking like, hey, how's it going? My name's Zach. Like, my name's Rick, What am I going to, hey, how's it going, Rick? No, you're like, hey, this is Zach. Hey, nice to meet you. Yeah. Or if you walk in like, hey, how's it going, Zach? Hey, Rick in here. Like, hey, how's it going? Like, you got to match the tones and the personality, and you'll get way more deals sold, right?
So the speed of the conversation is a big one. Like some people just like to talk slow. I'm not one of them, but I have to mentally slow myself down because they won't comprehend and they feel like you're not listening. They feel like you're trying to rush them. A lot of times when you come into a house, they ask you to sit down. I used to say, I've been sitting in the car the whole way. I'd rather just stand up. Sit down. Like they feel more comfortable when you sit down. So like I'm a pretty tall guy. Zach's a pretty tall guy. They feel like they're at an equal level. There's so many things that go down. Like when you take down a deal.
Yeah.
My personal thing, I like to be in like the family room because that's usually where there's the most pictures. And if I have to quickly scan and figure it out, but like when I get in the kitchen, I'm completely lost. I've had people, they want to do it in the kitchen, or the family room. What he's saying is just try to match it. It's so important. And so many people think like, well, Rick, do I have to give up my ethics or like what I believe in to match them? No, you don't. You can just accent the stuff. But guys, at the end of the day, it's not about whose team you're on. You know what I'm talking about?
Well,
it's about trying to connect with them. And if it goes completely against your morals and your values, I'm not telling you to drop it. Just find some commonality. Don't fight one thing that you like you're bleeding inside about.
I would say I've gone against my ethics a couple of times. And one thing I've done with closing a deal is I've thought of the person who was a huge New York Giants fan. And I told him I was a Dolphins and a Giants fan.
I don't think sports is a big deal.
That was against my personal ethics, and I'm ashamed of it. And I would admit I did say I was a Giants fan, and I was still a Dolphins fan. And
I might as well be a Giants fan.
My grandfather likes the Giants, so it's fine. But I got the deal sold, New Yorker, and we talked about Eli Manning and Daniel Jones for like 40 minutes, but we got the deal sold. This like a couple of years ago.
So I'm talking about more personal choices without going into it. But I'm just telling you,
that's about being a chameleon. If this person's a fan of the sports team, hey,
chameleon's a dying breed in Florida. You know that.
Sorry, talking about Ditto, the Pokemon. That those Pokemon don't die.
All these big lizards are eating our little chameleons.
Oh my gosh,
you can't find them anymore. Florida's being taken over by invasive species.
I know, but
they're called goobers. Okay. Move on.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, that's it, guys. And the next one here is just smile. Like I've never seen don't fake smile, but just smile if you can, and it'll help you so much. It'll help you become in a better mood, and you'll get deals sold.
Remember that smile you used to make as a little kid? You got in front of the camera. It's like you ever ask your kid to smile like?
Oh my gosh! Yep.
Don't do that one. He used to do it all the time. It's so funny.
Oh my gosh!
Every picture when you're like 6 years old, I'm like, your mother says smile. I'm like, wipe that smile off your face.
We're not going to get in that. But the next part is never, ever, ever walk away without a yes or a no on the appointment or on that virtual wholesaling call, right?
Mm-hmm.
Never.
It's a difference maker because
it is.
People love to sideline you. Let me think about it. Let me do this. And guys, you have to, the whole key is you spend all this time and all this energy and especially money is it's equivalent like asking someone, honestly, I'm not going to say marry you. That's a little harsh, but you're basically, if you were ever in high school asking for a prom date, at some point you were nervous as heck. You have to ask for a yes or a no. Otherwise, what's the point of the conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it does suck to get rejected, but it is part of the deal. But let me tell you what, I rather have a yes or a no than let me think about it or let me get back to you.
That's the difference between a 7-figure wholesale and a 6-figure wholesale. They'll walk away with a yes or a no, and the other person, they'll get a maybe and say, okay, have a great day, and walk away. They're never getting that deal back.
Here's my response to it. If you don't get an answer, it means you didn't ask the right questions.
You need a yes or a no.
It needs maybe they just need more information. So this is like sales 101. That this isn't sales. You just gotta. Your conversation did not satisfy the things you were going to overcome.
And let's break it down because there's so many acquisitions courses and killers out there. They have the triathlon of closing. People do all this fun jazz to try to charge you money to learn closing. They don't teach any of the stuff because they're not running real businesses. And I know this guy runs a good bit. guys, they won't be selling courses if they are. But I'm not going to get into that. Let's digress in the triathlon of closing. The one thing I can tell you right now is they don't teach this stuff. They don't. And why? It's because they're trying to sell you a course. And even these courses, they don't have them. I've seen the inside of these courses. They don't teach you this. This is what happens, and this is how you actually get deals done. Let's be honest. I'm going to say one of the most important things. If you can, hold on, just for the people, they're half listening. Hello, and like before you're listening, you're watching this while driving. Stop right now and start writing this down, because this is
pull over if you're on the highway.
Because this is the most important thing I could say in this entire video. We're going to break this down.
So they're going to say, well, Rick, how do you get an answer of a yes or a no?
How do you do that? This makes no sense.
This drove me nuts when I first started.
When I learned this, I was.
This is it, guys. This is
melted.
And we'll get into questions.
And we're going to break. And this is all in freewholesaling.com. This is all in mailingmastery.com. Let's break it down. Condition the seller before the appointment or call. Okay.
Also known as framing.
All right. Let's go to the next part here. Condition the seller before the appointment or call. Condition the seller before the appointment. I said this 3 times. Is there a reason why I said this 3 times? Because this is the most important thing you can have today. You have to condition the seller before the appointment or call. What is conditioning the seller?
A condition the seller is just setting up the framework
and expectations,
which is the expectation of the outcome of the appointment.
Yes.
Either phone, in person, or however you're going to do it.
And sellers get very uncomfortable in appointments, not because of you, because they don't know what's going on or what's going to happen next.
They have no idea, like how long you're going to take, what's going to happen. How do I know if we have a deal? Like
who's going to be there?
Who's going to be there? So you can set it up. So
if you make them comfortable, they'll feel comfortable actually, getting a deal signed and stuff like that. So it's that little thing, but most important part is you condition them to give you a yes or no.
Yeah. So by the way, it's all.
Did they charge? This is the $5,000 one, right?
Yeah, no.
This
is all in freewholesaling.com.
Oh, this is free?
Let's give them an example of how this works.
Let's break it down.
So,
hello. Hey. Hi, this is Mr. Seller. You said you're going to come at 5 o'clock. That should work for me on tomorrow.
Awesome. So when we're there, who's going to be there? Like, who's the decision makers we can talk with?
It's just me. I'm not married or anything.
Okay. So Zach, here's one I want to do with your permission. I'm probably going to take 40 minutes to an hour of your time. Is that going to be okay?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to look at the overall condition of the house. We're going to look at everything. I know you know the house a lot better than I do. I'm just looking at it on paper. And then what I want to do is I want you to understand, no matter what the outcome is, I'm going to help you sell your house. So I want to put you at ease on that.
Okay.
And then as we go through our conversation at the end, when we get to the end, you'll have a decision to make. And you'll either decide you want to sell the house to me, or I'm going to help you sell it, or you might just say, no, this doesn't work at all for me. But at the end, we're going to make a decision, either yes or no. And I'm okay with either answer. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
I can make a decision if I'm going to sell it now.
So that's a micro part of it.
I'll see you at 5 o'clock.
But when I do that, so now we're at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So Zach, do you think that offer will work for you?
I don't know. I really got to think about that.
Because I remember we talked about before I came over here, you would have a decision to make at the end, and you committed to me. You would give me a yes or a no. And if you say no, I can handle that and we'll move forward. But we made a commitment to each other, and I want to help you out.
I did say that, didn't I?
Yes. Guys, decisions are tough for people. But if you pre-set it up and go, you made me a promise, I got to tell you, man, it walks so many people down the tunnel. And honestly, at the end, when you see the house is in bad condition and like they really need to sell it, you're actually doing a favor and helping them. When the houses are perfect and stuff, sometimes I'm even scratching my head. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on here? But when you precondition them, you frame that conversation. People don't like to break promises.
They don't. And, I also put another thing on here. A lot of people are like, hey, I'm a woman of my word. I'm a man of my word. Hey,
there you go.
Mr. Seller, I'm a man of my word here. When I tell you I'm going to help you, I'm going to get it done. And then you kind of bring that when they say, I don't know. Well, Mr. Seller, I already told you I'm a man of my word here. I told you I was going to help you today. I know you're a man of your word. You said you're going to make a decision today.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard saying that, but that's what you have to say to get someone to give you an answer without saying, hey, you said you're a man of your word. Give me an answer now.
Yeah.
That's
So-
going to be a no. But the way you
Yeah.
say it, I said that, but I said it in another way.
So
You got it done.
So just by preconditioning,
Mm.
it gets you out of that, what I call the friend zone. You ever had that in high school? You're dating a guy or girl, and they're just like, we just kind of, you ask them out, like, oh, you're a really good friend of mine. I'm like, no, like either we're going out or we're not. Like it's yes or no. You going to the prom with me or not? You got to stay out of the friend zone, which is let me think about it. Maybe now listen, you're not going to hit everyone out of the park with it, but I'm just going to tell you, it will fix 60 to 70% of your conversations at the end. And spend some time on the preconditioning, like really work it. Honestly, if you're going to spend that much time with them, I want an answer. And honestly, if you've done the qualifying and you've pre-vetted them, the house, the house is in disrepair, it needs something, the seller's motivated. At that point, you just got to walk them to a decision. You
Yeah.
do not want them to use your contract for bait for other people. That's not how this is going to work.
And the Rick and prom show will be Saturday, teaching everyone.
You're in the friend zone. It's
Oh my
it's not fun. The friend zone is not fun. And I'm just being honest. So many of you guys get stuck in the friend zone. Like, hey, let me check it. Let me check with my lawyer. Let me check with this person. Now, every now and then, some people are honest about their friend zone. But I'm going to tell you, most sellers, they put you in the friend zone because they're not ready to make a decision, and you did not precondition them. You didn't do the framing, and it'll help out a lot.
Next here is, I'm going to say this again because a lot of people are like, well, actually, let me answer this, because Ryan says, I get nervous about being pushy. And the one thing I tell you, Ryan, is if you're nervous, pushing someone to make a decision that day, well, you don't have to be nervous. You don't have to, but what's more nerve-wracking? You not getting a deal after 4 months, or you overcoming your nerves and doing it? What's more nerve-wracking? To me, more nerve-wracking is not making $1 million in wholesaling real estate than doing it, right?
Now, so let me give you a little example. I remember once in my first
not pushy either.
Year or two, I had someone, oh my God, this lady made me dance forever. Rick, let me think about it. Let me talk to my lawyer. Let me talk to my friend. Let me talk to my girlfriend. I think I did 2 or 3 visits, and she was driving me so crazy. Now, guys, this is when I did everything myself. Okay. And this is actually one of the reasons I started preconditioning people. I got pushy because I just couldn't take it anymore. Like we had like 15 hours of conversations, and she finally goes, you know what, Rick, I'm just not selling it to you. I'm just using you to get a contract so I can get a higher bid from us. I said, I go, thank you so much. Thank God this is over. And I learned the hard. I was so frustrated. I went back and I wrote it. I wrote it as part of my systems and process that I have to precondition everyone. If I precondition her, I probably would have never been in that position. I wasted so much time. But honestly, guys, when you get a no, it's good because there's an outcome. And when you have an outcome, you learn from it and you move forward. When you stay in the friend zone, it's tough because it's like you're trying to figure out if they're lying to you, which, by the way, they do lie to you, right? Or if they're honestly being honest. And honestly, if somebody has to walk through that friend zone or check with them, 24 hours is about it. After 48 hours, you're done. You not only lose the friend zone,
it's like your detectives, like your first 48 hours. When you give the
48
offer
hours,
out,
the clock goes, right?
Yeah. So when
If
you
you
give that
don't-
offer, you got 48 hours.
Yeah, you don't get an answer in 48 hours outside of maybe probate. I'll give you the exception to that one. You're usually done. So you guys want to talk. You not only you leave the friend zone, you go to the unknown zone. And that's when people, and it drives new wholesalers. It drives old wholesalers nuts.
Definitely. So guys, the next part here, a lot of people are talking like, hey, how do I beat someone who has a bunch of money in wholesaling? How do I beat them out my acquisitions? And the one thing I can tell you is speed and empathy beats money. If you're faster than your competition to the deal, you have more care and empathy, you'll beat anyone who has $5 million in their bank account ready to buy a house, right?
It doesn't matter how much money they have.
No, money doesn't matter.
Can you solve the problem?
You have partners who have cash buyers who have money. You're fine. Now, here's the last part about the acquisitions, and we're going to get going on talking to some people about acquisitions and how we can help them out. Guys, join Wholesaling Houses for real with the link. I might post the link here on public for everyone if we want, because we can go forever on this chat today. But we're going to do spring cleaning winter edition. And this is really important for acquisitions. I think people should do it. It's a new
What do you mean
challenge.
spring cleaning?
Do you know what spring cleaning is?
I know you
Clean the
didn't
house after spring.
Yeah, you didn't do it much as a kid.
Oh my gosh. Spring cleaning is going to be fall edition. That's for your lead. So what we're going to do is, I guess, a challenge, you could say. I don't know how to describe it, but go in your CRM and call every single lead out there, even if it's from 4, 7, 8 months ago. It's dead. Call it and try to get a price and appointment. You will be shocked how many deals everyone watching this could get.
It's kind of like a fall cleaning, an Oktoberfest.
It's fall edition, spring cleaning.
There you go. Guys,
yeah.
I'm telling you, there's hidden gems because remember, people in your database to follow up. A lot of people aren't ready to sell at that moment, but time and circumstances always change. And in my opinion, your database about every day, but every 30 days, but definitely every 90 days.
Yeah.
If you just go and flush it through, they're like, oh, Rick, I've been meaning to, I lost your card. Like I lost your postcard or I haven't talked to you in a while. I'm so glad you called. My husband told me we got to sell this place now.
That's it. So let's get some questions. I'm really excited. So we got the StreamYard link out for everyone and let's get it going. So number one here, just got to make sure we get this stupid big camera in the way. We have Sue.
Sue's patient, but Sue's microphone's off.
Here I am.
Yes. Hey, Sue, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
I'm doing
awesome.
Great. She's in Tampa.
Yes.
Oh, you guys getting some rain right now?
It wasn't as bad as what they thought. We had tornado warnings and school early, and it was kind of crazy, but it wasn't too bad.
It's going to get in the 60s in Florida. We all get excited about that.
I know. Get out the boots. How many people with boots are you going to see tomorrow?
No, I went to school in Tampa. I went to USF.
Oh, good for you. Yep.
My daughter went there too.
Well, I grew up down near you guys in Boca and then moved to Tampa. So
you got out at a good time.
Backwards. Well, first of all, while you both are on, I know you guys get thank yous a lot and how much you're appreciated. And I just wanted to add that myself, my appreciation for all that you're doing for free. And
thank you.
I know you probably saw in your group the 17-year-old young man that's been watching you, and he got 5 contracts today after being frustrated.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty wild.
Yeah, so you got a 17-year-old up to me trying to make it on Social Security, and that just doesn't cut it. So I appreciate all that you're doing and helping us out. So thank you both so much.
No worries.
And we know it's going to come back to you. So
I'm telling you, it already.
Sorry, I'm having children come through now, of course, because I just got on. Yeah, grandkids.
Awesome.
Love it.
Daddy just brought home some pumpkins for them, so they gotta, touch the pumpkins. But anyway, I'm sorry.
I got a little while till grandkids, right?
Yes. Jeez.
I'm just checking.
Yeah, I have 2. I think we're done. So, but I'll set them down if you need a fix of grandkids.
I love kids.
So I have a few questions. I'll try to be fast.
Okay.
Yeah,
take as much time as you need.
Okay, good. A couple weeks ago, there was that guy from SoCal that you helped. That with the multiple liens on the property. Remember that guy? There was like 14 or 15 liens on this one property.
Yeah, I was talking to Isaiah.
Yeah. So when you don't bring that up when you're trying to call, right? You just do your same thing. Hi, is this the owner? Are you interested in selling?
Yeah, it's like a probate. It's like, hey, Johnny, I saw your sister Sally died. I'm looking to buy the house. That ain't gonna go well. But hey, are you the owner of this house? Or are you looking to sell? That does a lot better.
Okay, so you just don't even bring it up. Say, dude, you need to sell the house.
No, you have to let them do it. Again, this kind of comes down to asking questions to answers you already know.
You already know the answer.
Hey, is there any reason you're looking to sell the house? Well,
and honestly, you're better off getting a contract signed, and then let the title company like do some of the hard plunging, and then you're like. The guy goes, well, I know I had 8 liens, but she's saying I have 14. I'm like, well, you got the liens, you got the lien. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news.
Right.
Most of the time, I get this all the time. I had a guy the other day, he goes, I knew they had an issue with the house and a big code violation came back. All it was parking the car on the side of the house.
Yeah.
But he got a violation. He just ignored it. this is why they wind up selling those. Well, the violation wound up being $14,000.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, well, Rick, what do we need to do about it? I go, I'm not coded. Like we can make a phone call, but like, I don't make it like, hey, I want to help you out, but it's not, even though I got him off the code violation list, I already knew that. I didn't know how much it was, but we get it all the time. You want to be supportive and helpful with them, but like when you're talking about the initial conversation, you let them, Zach said it just right. Let them answer the questions you already know the answer to, because you can try to, if you have to offer guidance before you sign the contract, that's the place to do it.
It is.
It's not about like, they're like, well, how much do I get? I go, I don't know, but like, if we put the paperwork together, I can go ahead and get it to the title company. Remember, there's no cost for you to do that initially. Let's go ahead and find out. Or sometimes if I can't get the contract, I'll at least get that information and use it as a leverage to meet up with them to do what I need to do, because they don't know how much it is. This guy thought he thought it was $150 fine. It wound up being $14,000.
Yeah.
And then I gave them the tools. I go, listen, now I'm not going to sit there and wait 4 months for that to solve, but I know I've done enough code violations. The guy had medical issues, had all sorts of things going on. And then what they do is they set that money aside in escrow. He had plenty of equity. And I said, listen, if you go and show them like your health conditions and like, you were in the hospital for 2 months, they'll probably cut that fine down by 70 to 80% in my experience. But you as the owner has to go, I can't go as the investor because it just doesn't look right. And I give them the information, and usually the title company helps them out with that. And you look like a hero, and it doesn't delay your closing. In the beginning, I used to sit there and delay closings. I learned my lesson with it. Yeah. Let's set so any type of lien. So everybody hears on this, if somebody has a lien and it's like they're getting significant equity, you can always set that lien aside in escrow and then battle it out. Anything other than the federal government, because that one's a little bit of a nightmare. Yeah. But anything local in the city, county, or state can be solved usually in 30 to 90 days. And try to help them out. Just don't. The idea is they don't pay the money to the state, but they have to get clear title. They have to set it aside. We use this trick all the time. Hope that helps you out with. So when going in the liens, understanding, I've watched people tie up an entire property, $1 million property, for a $2,000 lien. It doesn't make sense.
I've seen it.
So just say, listen, we'll set it aside. Or worst case scenario, if I had to, either I will pay for it or I'll set the money aside and ask the homeowner for their cooperation to try to beat it. Mm-hmm. I love liens.
Good. My next question was about auction properties. What kind of a time frame, like, there's a bunch of them on Zillow that says auction, and you open them up and it kind of will give a date. Some do, some don't. But are those valuable to approach, and what kind of, time frame are you looking to beat the auction date, or how does that work?
So listen, Zillow has its features that help us out as wholesalers, but it's great for valuations and using the Zestimate to try to get in the seller's head to see what they think it's worth. So most sellers think whatever the Zestimate, that's what their house is worth, good or bad. When you start seeing like auction and stuff, which Zillow's trying to give you data, like this is coming auction, don't rely on any of that information because it's usually really bad. I see a lot of their auctions that has already been sold and it's gone. And to be honest with you, you're better off using your listrei.com with PropStream. It's better. It's not perfect. And then if you really want to deep dive and you're working with that customer, go to your county site. If it's usually going to be county. So you're in Florida, so you can go in like Hillsborough County and you can look up the factual information because they're all getting their data from the county. Zillow's all over the board. Like I had a property I just sold like 5 years ago. It's still on Zillow. Like,
oh, geez.
I did like a pre-sale thing and it's still up there. So it's, remember, they deal with millions of properties. So it's not, I don't find it really reliable. I like PropStream's much better. And then if I have a specific property, like I'm driving by or some in my neighborhood, just go to the county site. So go to Hillsborough and pull it up. You got to understand they're just scraping information. And a lot of time it's the way these counties have been tied up with all the issues in the last year. Zillow's probably the least accurate of the one. And you got to beat them with speed on that. So and remember, I have never in 20 years bought a property on an auction ever at the county courthouse or anything. There's just no money in them. Like you're going to pay the most for it. You got to outbid people. And I don't want to buy a $150,000, $200,000 property to make like 2%. It's just not a good use of time or money.
I agree.
So remember, auctions don't work really well for wholesalers. If you know a market really well and you know the values, or you know a higher and better use, maybe an Airbnb, maybe, but it's usually a personal decision at that point, just like you would buy your own piece of real estate.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
No worries. So
the dad got locked out. Sorry. That always happens. I've been sitting here all quiet for an hour and get on, and now everybody wants to come through.
He just walked by you there.
Yes, He did. My son-in-law. They're out there getting ready to carve pumpkins for the weekend.
Full house.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. We are a 4-generation home, so it's
awesome.
Beautiful.
Tons of fun. Okay, I appreciate that info. And Zach, you had mentioned that you have some vlogs. Are those short little snippets that are coming up on your YouTube channel, or is that somewhere different?
No, the vlogs, they'll come out maybe once or twice a month. I'm running around doing like all these type of businesses and crazy stuff. So when I have time to go on like an actual deal we do, I'll go just bring my quick camera and I'll just bring hey, this is a property working on. I bought this for 70. We're selling it for 140. Put 10 into it and we're making like 50,000. I show the HUDs, I share it all. So the vlogs come out maybe once or twice a month. Okay. I just did one we're making about 80 to 90K on, and I'm breaking down. It takes time to get all the HUDs to show you because I don't fake this business. But the ones that are recorded, if you search vlog space flip with Rick or vlog space Zach Ginn, they should pop on. Freewholesaling.com has them also. That's probably where you'd find them.
Okay, that sounds good.
Try to show you the deals from like start to finish, so everyone doesn't. I think we're not sitting on the beach flipping them. It's actual work.
It's more important the education part. But once or twice a month, I'll try to share a vlog. I've been hit up because I did the sneak peek of that $70,000 deal we did in West Palm Beach. Oh my gosh, everyone's like blowing up.
But we don't have a studio. We just go out and record it. Like, oh, it's such poor quality. I'm like, dude, I'm not setting up a studio in a fix-up house.
I don't have like 50 people. Like, I don't have 4 people behind us. There's nobody behind us. There's no camera.
This is the staff right here.
Yeah, like it's not.
We're authentic. It's what we do. Like, I don't have 4 other people sitting over here. My wife's like, I don't want any part of that. So we have people that work for us, but it's in the business. It has nothing to do with this.
We do have someone behind us, the dog. But is he here? He's not here. Oh, he's not here. Maybe the cat somewhere, but
sleeps on my feet.
There's only ever people that are behind us. So that's it. But find them on freewholesaling.com.
Okay. Would you be willing to look at a property for me that's on Zillow and tell me if I'm missing something on this? Because it seems like I'll go ahead and put the, let me see. I guess I got to shrink you to chat. Here we go.
Yeah. Put it in the private chat. We'll go look at it.
There we go. All right. The eyes aren't what they used to be. I'll put the address in.
All right.
It's kind of, there's a couple things that look a little squirrely about it, but I just want to see if I'm like looking at the right type of stuff.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, here it comes.
All right, let's pop it up. So, okay. So I'm going to tell you the first issue here. Your first issue here, Sue, is this property's on the market.
It's showing up as other on mine.
It's it's a for sale by owner. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So let's go look here, see what we see.
Check the history. That was one thing that was really confusing to me.
Okay, let's go look. So this is a for sale by owner, 150.
It's rough on the outside. Just the way you like them.
I think it's the roof. I don't even know. All right. Okay.
Are you talking with the seller or where you're at with it?
I'm getting ready to call. I just wanted to make sure I had my ducks in a row, that there's not something squirrely. Like I said, with the history on it, it looks like it sold the end of July for 200. And
So,
then they
yeah. So
the end
Sue,
of
the
August.
first thing I would do is go to your county official records.
Well, we'll do that too.
Yeah, and like I like to go straight to the source, because Zillow sometimes it's convenient, but it's not always accurate. Like,
so this property, let's see where this phone number goes to.
I skip traced it, so I've got some phone numbers.
Well, you don't need to skip trace. The phone number's right here.
Yeah, I got that one, and then I went by the address to get a little bit more information.
Okay. Have you talked to anybody about it?
Not yet.
Yeah. Before I do anything, I just call. Like, what's the point? I just call.
so
it looks like it sold for 119. Maybe try and get flipped, but that was a year ago. So let's actually go to the Hillsborough County property appraiser and look. I mean, the one thing I can tell you right now is when I ever have a question, I just call the seller and they'll answer it pretty easily, right?
it saves you a lot of time,
Yeah.
because if you got to call 40 or 50 people like this, if
Right.
you have to spend 20 minutes on every one of them, you're going to drive yourself nuts. Because
Yeah, because I've been trying to, like I said, I'm brand new and haven't really done
I know.
anything yet. So just trying to make sure I'm
Sue,
looking at
the most valuable thing you can get when you do this is just cut to the chase and get a phone number and call them and let them tell you what's going on, because
Okay.
it's just the fastest way, because all the control is in the seller. Like, you can look up all the data you want.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you, in the end, if you got to call 50 people, and listen, human nature is, we're taught in every other business, be completely prepared. It's kind of like going to school, having your homework ready.
Right.
It's the opposite a little bit in wholesaling. You've got to get leads. And then once you have something going and that conversation is going to go somewhere, that's when I deep dive.
Yeah. So let's break it down. So I'm at the Hillsborough County property appraiser. So Hillsborough County property appraiser. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is Hillsborough County, Florida. So we're going to just search the property. So we're going to do, 1609 East Maple. Search. Okay, so we get this one right here. So this is a J. Howe A. Rios. Okay. So it looks like the property was sold. Let's just look at the number, right?
You should look at it. It should have like the sales records.
Yeah. So hold on. Okay. Now we're getting some information. Now this brings me to the property appraiser. I mean, the public records, which is party one was Primrose Investments and then Joho A. Rijos. Let's click the deed. Platinum Title did this. So Primrose Investments, whose address is 5100 Jewel Terrace, blah, 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 is selling this property to, where does it say here? Oh, they're just signing the warranty deed to Joho A. Rios, whose post office address. So they're probably living in the house if that's their mailing address, right? Most likely.
210,000.
For 200.
Yeah, now they're listing it for 150. That was confusing to me.
So maybe this, you don't know. It could be some tax thing where they put the price differently. What I would tell you, let's go back to Zillow and kind of read what it says. So here's the most important thing. Nat did that about 2 months ago, right? That was August. So, actually, wait, when's the sale date?
831.
Yeah,
831, and then they listed it on 9/2 for 150.
So that's definitely the probably the newer owner, I would say. Looks like they didn't do any work to it. Maybe this is an older listing.
I would just call. Like, honestly, it's,
Yeah,
you can sit here
I
and
would
like
call.
it,
Yeah.
it's, you got so much going on. Just, you could probably in 5 minutes solve the
It
problem.
did sold for 210 and then listed after. So it got listed 3 days after its official selling. So most likely the guy's trying to sell it himself. So make a call and see. Do you want us to call them right now with you and just kind of see what's going on? We can work with you on it if you want.
Sure. Will you do all the talking?
Yeah, I'll do all the talking. I don't mind.
Yeah, man. I'm not going to say no to that.
How'd you find it?
I just have been searching through Zillow, through for sale by owners. The cold call thing kind of intimidates me, and I figured this would be more of a warm call that they're looking to sell it, so they'd be more receptive to receiving my phone call.
So Sue, next time you get these, just pick up the phone. The worst they do is hang up or you say no.
Call.
Okay.
Zach likes this stuff.
I probably won't get an answer, but we'll see.
Yeah, I've got a few of them here that I'm going to call on that I've looked up numbers but see, that guy, that name that you just came up with wasn't anywhere on the stuff I came up with.
Should play the Jeopardy thing while we do it.
I probably won't get an answer. It's probably an older phone number, It got listed a while back.
So you got to get used to doing this. Just pick up the phone and call.
Okay.
They won't hurt you. I'm telling you. It's not really. It's kind of a warm call.
No answer there. That's an old Google Voice number, most likely.
Because if you make 10 phone calls, you're lucky to get 1 or 2 people to pick up.
I agree.
Right.
So just get through it, and then they'll call you back. And then when they call you back, it's actually easier because you're like, "Hey, who is this? Oh yeah, I left a message. I was just inquiring about that property you had on the market. What's going on with it?" And that's it. The one thing me and Zach hear the most is, and it doesn't matter where I am, they're like, "Hey Rick, I got a property and I think it's pretty cool." And you know what I always say? I don't have to look at anything. I don't have to look at any data. What did the seller tell you? And 90% of the people, this is just the truth, just to demonstrate a point is, well, I haven't spoke to the seller yet. The seller is everything. Yeah. The property has, it's just a side effect of what's going on with the seller. So unless the seller is willing or they have a problem or something like that, like I don't want to be a realtor. Like I do love the crazy thing is I do love real estate, but like when we're in wholesaling, our focus is always on the seller. Everything else is a side distraction.
Yeah. You
don't even have to give me the value of the house, where it's located or anything. If I can talk to the seller, I can kind of figure out really quickly if we're going to do a deal or not. If they want the highest and best offer on that, I'm like, hey, listen, I wish you the best. Do you have the property listed? And I'll even try to help them out. I don't care. That way it's not intimidating and threatening to me. But so many times we sit there and we're like, that isn't really cold calling, in my opinion. Cold calling is when you get a list of 3,000 people and you're like, my God, I might as well just take a rubber mallet and bang it against my head. He'll do that. I won't touch it. I'm just like you. But go through and just it's easier because you get anxiety about it and you get all worked up and like it stresses your body out. And you didn't get into wholesaling to be stressed. Just call it. It's like having a conversation with someone, whatever. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. 9 times out of 10, if they're not interested, they'll tell you right off the bat. Yeah. And that 2 minutes of a little bit of uncomfortability is a lot better than 3 days of like, oh my God, I got to call these people. It's gonna just get it over with.
Yeah, I've been watching this one for a little while. So
I go running. I hate it with a passion. And we got bad weather coming through and I ran before I hate every minute of it. But when I'm done, I'm happy. I'm like, ooh, glad that's over with instead of stressing about it. So guys, when you get these things, just rip the Band-Aid off and call them, especially on the phone. They're not going to come back. They're not going to attack you or do anything like that. I'm telling you, it's less fearful just to get it out of the way and figure it out than sitting and staring at it for 3 days and doing hours of research.
I agree.
And if you do that over and over, it will help you out a lot. I'm just telling you.
Okay. I appreciate that. So you always recommend getting a Google Voice number? Never use your own?
Yeah, Google Voice when you're calling.
Yeah, Google Voice. There's a million of my virtual phone numbers. Vumber has a good one out there. I think it's $4 a month.
Yeah.
Anything like that. Just don't give them your cell number because then you get some crazies out there. You got to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was really all I had. I appreciate so much your time and taking a look at that. And just like I said, I just wanted to make sure I was not missing something with all that history and stuff, that there was something that would be glaring to you that I was overlooking.
Now,
I know.
Just call them and let them tell you the story. And that's the easiest way to solve that stuff. It saves you a ton of time and it's actually a lot less aggravating.
That's
Would
it.
you ask them, like, as in your conversation, would you say, well, I noticed that you purchased it for 210 and you're selling for 150?
Yes, but I would put it a different way. I'd be like, "Hey, Mr. Seller or Joe, whatever the guy's name is, I'm looking at this. It seems like property I might be looking to buy. What's going on? It says it got sold. Are you trying to sell it now? Is that from a previous listing? What's going on with the property?" That's all you got to say.
Okay.
Just
Let
let them talk, because
Ask
if
questions.
they're going to tell
80-20
you they're
rule.
not interested, it's like a waste of time. So when you come to leads, it is somewhat of a numbers game, and you got to get through it. So you don't want to be doing all this research and people running titles, and it's like, I used to do that too. I'm just telling you, like, I figured out quickly, if I contact 10 people and I get one or two to talk to me, then I'll spend a little time on those people. And that's the best way. So many people get caught up, like, I got to be completely prepared. It's the complete opposite in wholesaling.
Yeah.
When you get people who want to engage you, like when we get incoming calls from like our direct mail and stuff, we don't know a dang thing about it. We just talk to them.
Yeah.
It's always about conversations. And then when people like, yeah, I've got to, I got to do this, or people like, listen, I need top dollar. I do this. If you come up 50 grand on your offer, I'll do it. Okay. God bless you. Like, we just move on. We're not going to spend time on it.
Well, that particular one, I mean, that price at 150, and it's, of course, I'm going by Zillow a lot. They've changed their Zestimate, it's fluctuated a little bit over the last month or so, but the rental on it is, more than the 1%. So it's numbers wise, it looks like it makes sense
It probably needs
to
a new
try to
roof.
call them.
It probably needs some work.
Yeah, it looked
Maybe
like
it is worth 140, 150, but you need it under contract for like 120.
Yeah.
And that's when you meet them at the property, you get it going. You got to know the story.
Yeah.
Because if the guy's trying to sell it for some crazy reason, or he bought like a bunch of properties and they just put 210 on there because he bought like 10 homes, you got to get the story,
There's always a story.
Like there's a 3-2 selling here. Like I see another one here for 970 for 217. That's all done, but I see one for 125. You really got to run in the comps and kind of look. I mean, it looks like a beat up house. It might need a new roof. You kind of have to decide from there.
Yeah. Okay.
Talk to them. That's the key to it. It's the seller. It's not so much the house. If he ain't willing to sell it, like, all this is a moot point. If he's willing to sell it, then you go gather your day to do that. And then you just go out and you meet him somewhere where you feel safe with it, and see if you can put a deal together.
Okay.
It might need more repairs. And, there's so many things that happen, but if they're not motivated, you're going to wind up in the realtor world, which I call the friend zone too. And then you're just stuck. It's like, man, I don't want to do all this, sell like a crappy house and then do all this stuff for like a small fee. So,
yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I so appreciate you all taking so much time with me, and I'll let you help somebody else. Thank you so much. I look forward to your going live and all that stuff. I watch as much as I can and glean. I have a notebook full of notes, so I appreciate you a lot.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Sue.
All right.
Thanks, Sue.
Y'all have a good weekend. Stay safe.
You too.
Thanks.
We should have like a pumpkin carving thing for tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. That'd be great.
Someone carved like a flip with Rick.
I'm not, I have no skills on art.
I wouldn't let you do it.
The art of closing. Now that's an art I can talk about. But yeah, guys, here's the link if you guys want to hop on, ask some questions. I'll answer some questions we got in here and kind of see what other questions we got. See how we can help the people out. But let's go to the top here, answer some questions we got. Thomas says, what's up? What is up? How are you? Let's see here. You guys are awesome. Caleb said, just smash that like button. It felt good. Guys, like the video. I swear.
Please, come on. More people
helps.
we can help out.
I'm telling you.
It's all organic. We don't do any advertising. We give you everything for free. So kind of our fee is hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share this with as many people that you think need help in wholesaling from authentic people that actually do this deal. And we don't make our living off coaching fees.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God.
That'd be scary. Raphael says, I've heard you guys say before, with probates and pre-foreclosures, those are long game deals. It takes some time to close them. What are some other long game deals, and what are some good short game deals? What do you think? I would say another long game deal would probably be inheritance lists also, which is technically still probates. tired landlords are sometimes that if you're dealing with an eviction process. I mean, long-term deals are probably stuff through courts with really long and crazy liens. I mean, we deal with one house with an insane like child support thing, and you can go child support liens on PropStream, listrei.com, but usually if the court's going to stop the title, that's going to be definitely a long one. A short one, maybe a high equity free and clear house.
But it's kind of funny. I've had deals that I thought were going to be quick, short-term flips, and they wind up being like a long process. So here's my answer, Raphael. If you're going to be in the wholesaling game, you got to look at someone like a farmer. And I know I do these analogies a lot, but if I planted you a seed and you could come back in 6 months or a year and get $1,000 bill off of it, are you okay planting that seed? Because you just poke a little hole in there, put it in there, put a little water on it. Your water is just following up, guys. And then one day it pops. I made more money flipping short sales because wholesalers didn't understand them and they couldn't make a quick profit on them. Now, my average short sale was a $40,000 plus profit. Here's the catch. They took 6 to 12 months to close, but guess what? After 6 months happened, deal after deal after deal closed because I put in that 6-month commitment. So understanding if you're going to be in the game, anything you want to do to make like fast money, you're either going to burn out or you're usually going to get hurt. I don't care if it's stocks, that other little coin thing, everything else you do. Fast money has a huge price to it. It has a toll to it.
Yeah.
Okay. People that want to coach 3,000 students at once, it has a toll. The students don't get the best information and they're trying to figure out how to scale it so they can flip as many students as possible.
The coaches get tired so they can't go live.
And then they burn out and then they stop doing real estate because they made so much money coaching. And honestly, if they just stayed in wholesaling and found a community where they could communicate with people, they do better in the long run. Yeah. So we're playing the long game here. So like, if you're looking for like short deals, look for if the house is vacant, that's probably the first cue that the deal is going to work fast as possible. So when all your leads define if the house is vacant, or when a house is vacant, people are much more motivated to get rid of them, which usually means within 30 to 90 days, you can get rid of it. Any type of court appointed lead, those are usually going to be 90 days plus. And that's it. After that, who cares? You're in it. Like I've had short sales take 3 years, but in an appreciating market, it made me an extra $100,000. So once again, I planted that seed and I came back to it.
That's it. Boom. All right. Who we got on? We got hello.
Aloha. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. How do I say your name? I'm not even going to try it. I'm sorry.
It's Hawaiian. K Ali'i.
K Ali'i. Does that mean anything?
Yeah. Yeah, that means chief in Hawaiian. Chief.
Oh, that's cool. That's a cool name.
That is.
Why do you name me Chief? That's a sick
You don't
name.
want to know what I want to name you. Buddy.
Oh my gosh. But
I got vetoed on it. Pain in the ass.
How are you doing today?
Man, I'm feeling blessed. I made it to the live show. This is my first time. I've only been following you guys for 1 week. Found you on YouTube and I've been just obsessed with your guys' channel and the content.
Welcome.
And,
he's driving in a car right now, talking
Stay safe,
to us.
Please, but yeah.
Yeah,
this is nuts.
Yeah, I got the hands on the wheel. So,
where
are certainly
you?
Appreciate you guys. Oahu, Hawaii, the island of Oahu.
Wow.
That's what you're asking.
I tell you, Hawaii is one place I could move to.
Yeah,
I could move there.
Yeah.
I love the ocean, the water, fishing, all that stuff. So that's why I'm in Florida.
Fresh fish. Yeah, if you love sushi, then this is the spot to be. Yeah, if you like sushi.
It's spam.
Yeah. Hey,
spam
is also known as the Hawaiian steak, right? Because us Hawaiians, we live off a food stamp and we're poor. That's the steak to us. It's called spam.
I know everyone loves spam.
Pretty gross, but yeah, you see it at the 7-Elevens. Yeah, you'll see it at even at McDonald's over here, right? You go to McDonald's, you can get a platter.
He wouldn't eat it as a kid. He's like, I'm not gonna eat that crap. I didn't have a choice. That's how we lived. Like Dad we only had so many rations for food. We put it on crackers, and that was my lunch on the boat.
Okay,
it's torture.
So, how can I help you out in wholesaling? What's going on?
Yeah, YouTube whore, right? Never took any action. Just recently started to drive for deals or drive for dollars. But you can help me because fearful scared, afraid to pick up the phone. And when I do pick up the phone to call someone who's on this list, and a lot of gurus or people just say, take action and just call. I understand that. But when I call, what the F am I saying? How do I respond to them with the questions they're asking? I don't feel comfortable. I am, how would I say? Yeah, how do I get educated, train, what to say, how to say, so I can feel confident like an expert as to when I'm trying to buy their property? Like, I don't know what to say. I feel freeze. I'm overwhelmed and stuck right now. Does that make sense what I just said?
It makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
You go through freewholesaling.com. We show you it all. So cold calling basically comes down to asking three things, really. And if you ever want to watch, I go live maybe once a week where I'll just call FSBOs live, and I'll go for like 2 or 3 hours. And you can see that. Just copy what I say. Here's the thing. You got to ask two questions when you're doing regular cold calling versus a for sale by owner. For sale by owner, watch the lives, do what I do there. When you're doing regular calling, you're driving around, you see someone who's got like this disgusting house, you ask three things. And it's really two things. It's like, hey, are you the owner of 123 Hawaii Street? Yes, I am. Well, are you interested in selling the property? That's it. I'll tell you right now, we have VAs in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
They're asking that all day. Do you think they've ever seen the property or they know about real estate? No. But they know how to say 2 words in English, 2 sentences in English. And that's all they really got to know. And okay, that's great. Let me have someone on our team give you a call back. That is 95% of cold calling right there.
People overthink it.
That's it. You say 2 sentences. You're going to go on YouTube and it's like, well, actually, man, you're going to have to say this crazy script. It's going to be 4 sentences long and you're going to have to do this crazy. I don't do that. I tell you what I do. I ask 2 times, are you the owner and are you interested in selling the property? If they're interested in selling the house, we go in the 4 pillars. We ask them why they're looking to sell, their motivation, time frame, condition, price, and we go from there. I'm natural. You seem like a very natural, happy person. You just be yourself. The nerves, maybe comes from you not knowing what's going to happen. But it's what's the worst? Someone's going to say, F you.
Yeah.
I've been said that so many times in my life that I don't even care. You got to have thick skin, obviously, but you're just trying to help someone, sell their house. You're behind the phone. It's not a big deal. So
the worst case scenario. So what you have to do is just kind of dive in your fear because you got a game going on in your head. What's the worst that's going to happen to you? They're going to hang up on you. Like that's it. Or they're going to tell you to F off and you thicken your skin up a little bit and you get through it.
Here's the cool part. It's an audience of 2. Like,
yeah,
let's say you fail in the cold call. Who's going to really like make fun of you? Maybe the seller, but then hang up. Bye. Close the phone off. Like it's an audience of 2. So it's not an audience issue. It's not like 500. It's like when I go live, 4,000 people are watching me cold call. That's a little nerve wracking sometimes. I don't really get nervous because I know what I'm doing. The one thing I tell you to help you out is cold call me and ask me those 2 questions. And I just want to see the way you do it. Okay. You know the 2 sentences?
I forgot already. I got to go back and watch this. Yeah. Oh, wait. Okay. Sorry. Hey, Zach. I'm overthinking it.
Okay.
Zach,
It's what you got to do.
Hey, Zach, are you the owner of 123 Banana Street?
Yes.
Okay, great. Would you consider selling your property?
No. Next one.
Oh, okay.
Like that's what you do.
That's your worst case.
I said no. On the next one. Yeah. That's it.
What's your background? What do you do?
Window sales. I do window sales, retrofit. I go to people's houses. I talk to them. I measure their windows, replacement windows. So I've been in car sales, window sales.
Are you scared to go talk to someone about windows?
No, it's very easy and I'm passionate and it's good fun because I get to talk.
Why? Because you can help. Your service will help people, right?
1,000%. Yeah. I'm good at it. I'm good at it too.
If someone wants to sell their house and you're offering to buy it, you're good to go. Now, coming in when you're trying to sell windows, most of the time when you knock on someone's door, they probably don't need new windows. But if you just generally, like, obviously you have a list of people that call you and most of them will want to sell, but you just go to someone's randomly house. Hey, do you want new windows? No. You're not like, whatever, on the next one. That's right. Same thing with real estate, except I mean, when you get a deal, it's an extra couple zeros for real estate wholesaling than windows, but
Yeah.
that's it. Like, hey, it's the perfect analogy to windows. You just replace it with real estate and you're good to go.
It's the same thing. So what do you think? Are you married or single or?
Yeah, married with 4 kids. Wife stays home full time. I'm the
So
only one working.
if you ask your wife tonight when you go home, like when I talk to you, or like when you decided to marry me, what's the number one thing about me that that stood out? And I'm telling you, having somebody else tell you what your most highest and best skill set
And
is.
if she says, because you're like the most attractive person ever, say, well, outside of that, like, what's the intangible about you that's going well?
You make me smile. You're easy to
Yes.
talk to. And you're like, I'm telling you, when you start hearing it from like someone that knows you well, like, okay, I'm going to accent this. Obviously, it works well in your business. You've been doing that a while. You just need to take that same skill set and put it in wholesaling and understand the worst someone's going to do on a phone is hang up to you. Obviously, you're used to dealing with people in person. They're probably going to be really strong when you get belly to belly with them. You're just replacing one product with another. And in the end, you want to help people out and create a win-win situation. So you just get excited about it. Because
I promise you, it is easier to sell yourself on buying a house than it is to replace our windows or selling on windows.
I've gone through the whole window thing twice, by the way.
Yeah,
so
I'm telling you, it's wholesaling so
I
much
felt
easier.
like I bought a house when I did the windows. But
yeah. So
hey, it's expensive. Yeah, especially in Florida.
It's expensive.
No,
Hurricane rated. Yeah.
But there was a lot of customization and time. I'm like, you know what? I'm not an expert on this. Like in the end, I just succeeded. And then but I wanted to find someone that understood my needs, that would listen to me and hear me out and I told them what my concerns with it.
It's very similar and then very different at the same time. What I can tell you is what you're doing is a lot harder than wholesaling. I promise you that. I'm telling you.
People could take regular windows all day long, but like between hurricane impact windows, you have a lot of the same weather issues we have here in Florida.
KISS, KISS. Keep it simple. Not keep it simple, stupid. Just keep it super simple. Like, I'm looking to buy your house. Looking to sell it? Well, can I go and look at the house? Can you do this price?
These are simple conversations.
That's it.
And you become
Do
the
you have
authority
any scripts? Do you have any templates or any scripts?
Tell them where to go, Zach.
You go to freewholesaling.com.
Okay.
It's all in there. Okay. It's my $10,000 course I give for free. It's all from start to finish. Just start, using it piecemeal, but there's no scripts. Like, just go from the heart kind of. It's like the way you should do your cold calling is you don't have to memorize it. But like, hey, are you the owner and are you looking to sell it? That's it. Right? Like you go to someone's house, sell windows. Are you going to talk to the 4-year-old kid? No, you want to talk to the decision maker, right?
Right. Exactly.
Not like wholesaling. Hey, let's talk to the people that actually own the house for the windows. Whoever owns that, like, it's stuff you already know, man. I'm telling you, you've already closed these sales. It's the same exact thing. You add a couple zeros and it's a lot more simple.
Have you gone to freewholesaling.com yet?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. Signed up, registered.
There's a lot in there.
There's a lot in there. So you just break it down. And the good news is I'm not going to hit you over the head, man. Like, honestly, I want you to succeed and you come back and you spread the word about, what we're doing. And you're not going to go knee deep in and like, oh my God, I got no money to do this and that. And some of the stuff I want to do for the marketing. So it gives you that like aha moment, like, oh my God, I got this for free. These guys are genuine. They do it. It's a father-son team. I can replicate. Yes, you're in a different market, but man, I can tell you, I know some people do really well in parts of Hawaii because they know their market so well when a property comes up.
But also, what I want you to understand, because there's a lot of people watching this, what you feel is completely natural.
Yeah,
it's normal.
I'm scared.
I know, but it comes down to why you're afraid. It's like
I feel like I'm not knowing, so it's holding me back because I don't know, and maybe is that because we're overthinking?
How do you know? You just got to jump in. It's like, hey, you're scared of going off the diving board. What are you afraid of? You go down, or like you got this big slide at the water park and you're scared to go down it. You go down that thing once, you're like, oh, let me go again. Just start doing it. It gets all the fears will go away because
unless you grew up in the 70s.
Yeah, we're not going to say that, but
concrete slides.
I'm telling you, you just got to do it. That's the easiest way to get over it. But there's no fears. You've done something that's way harder than that. You
had 4 kids.
Yeah, having kids is way harder than wholesaling.
She did.
Yeah, I know.
She did.
You got to raise them. So it's
raising kids is a lot harder than wholesaling. I promise you that. And he has. And I was 17. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was closing deals. So,
but I took him with like it's just a skill you build up. Like teaching him at 16 and 17, he's like, my wife's like, what are you, crazy? I'm like, you know what? Why not now? Like, what's the point?
Just go. You know that
I didn't start till I was 33, for full disclosure. I had a corporate job just like you did. And I actually liked what I did. I got tired of working 70, 80 hours a week. And I just felt like they wanted to move me all over the country. And I fell into real estate investing by accident. And then I had to discover wholesaling within it because I was taught everything backwards and wrong to do. I just bought off MLS. Back then you could do it. Today it's a whole different world. So, define, like I always teach people, define your why. Why are you doing it? I wanted to spend more time with my family. My father never spent any time with me. It's just, he's still alive, thank God. But honestly, like he was a traveling salesman always. So when I decided, when Zach started doing sports and everything, I was like, well, this was long before, even when he was little doing Pee Wee leagues, I just wanted to spend more time with him. And so to me, I knew the money would follow. I was never worried about that. But time is awesome. This is why this kid's sitting next to me, because I made a decision that changed my life, and it's actually radically changed his life. And he sees what's going on with it. And so I started at 33. He started at 16. It's up to you, because no matter what, at the end of the day, your kids watch what you do. Forget what you say. They see what you do. And if they like what you do, then you can open them up to a whole different world. I didn't want him to go through the same struggles I went through.
And I went through a lot of struggles. So it comes down to the end of the day. I was there, no one cold calling with me.
No, he did cold calling. I'm not a cold caller. I don't want to sit there and pound people.
We can get you jacked up and tell you the motivation, the kids, whatever. Guys, if you're nervous to go cold call, just do it.
Just do it.
Now, it's very easy to say, but I'm trying to help you out. It's like, hey, that's the script. Are you the owner? Are you the owner, and are you interested? Go out there, do it for an hour or two. You will not have that nerves.
No, I was a door knocker when I started. So he liked the cold calling, and he helped expand the company doing that. So it's just
do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to say it. I mean, you just got to do it a couple times. Like, do it again with me. Ready? Go.
Hey, Zach, are you the owner of 123 Banana Street?
Yes.
Okay, great. Would you be interested in selling your property?
Boom. That's it. Like, you just said it again. Like, was there an issue with the way you said? No.
So you practice that twice. So practice
twice.
It like 50 times, and you'll have it licked. And then the next skill is to learn how to deal with the objections when they come. And by the way,
that's all you watch the lives I do.
Yeah.
You can get through them all, but like, that's the hardest part about cold calling is just getting behind that phone and start like doing it. The rest is easy. Like, if you just become yourself and you do not become fake with it, you'll do fine. You are literally looking to buy houses. That's all you're doing. That's it. I hate making it seem so simple, but it is. Wholesaling is as complicated as you want it to be. And
maybe a $10,000 course.
Yeah, I just go out there and start doing it. It will become a lot easier. Become comfortable with the uncomfortableness of cold calling.
As normal. Hey, let me see your tat there. I like that on your right arm. Okay, so
don't give me any ideas. Oh my god.
I got little ones, but so what is that, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, so it's a Hawaiian tribal spear. Yeah, also looks like a shark tooth. But there's different generations.
Passionate, man.
That's cool.
That's awesome. Really cool.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay,
so
well, stay in touch. Check in on the lives, and
I go live here every week, man. You can hop on Thursdays. I'm here to talk. I'll cold call with you. Hey, I got a list. Hey, hop on here with me. I go live at 5 on Thursdays. I just be right here while you're dialing. I can help you out. Like, I don't care. I'm just here to help everyone out. So like, you got me behind your corner. You got an issue. I'm always here to help.
And are we live, Zach?
We're live right now. So let's go. Like, hey, you know what? Just go out there and do it. That's one thing I can tell you. And I don't think you need any motivation. You got 4 kids. So I don't think you need any more motivation than that. I don't.
Right.
Depends on how many girls he has, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Two. Yeah. 2 boys, 2 girls.
Oh,
so girl, and then boy. So the 2 girls are the oldest.
Beautiful.
But I'll tell you what, living with the in-laws, that's the motivation. It's rough right now because I can't provide my own place. I can't even provide our own place, right, for my own family. I'm living with the
The right
in-laws.
time.
So
So you got your why. So go with it.
Yeah.
Go after it.
You got it.
Thank you.
It doesn't take
Thank
much. I'm telling you. You got it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
See you, buddy.
Any other questions you got?
No, that's about it. I'll just keep plugging in and wholesale free. What was it? The website, freewholesale.com.
Freewholesaling.com.
Yeah, there you go. I'll just continue and watch the live. Thank you.
That's
Awesome.
it, man.
Have a good
Appreciate
one.
it. Have a good one. Stay
Thank you.
safe.
Hello.
Hawaii, man. That's cool.
Hawaii. I love Hawaii.
I gotta get over there. I just don't want to fall in like the tourist trap.
We're in like the.
I gotta connect with him.
We're in like.
I'll watch out with all the tribal tattoos though when I'm done.
No. We're not doing this.
What's
You're not Hawaiian.
I know I'm not Hawaiian, but I like it. So
You're. Oh my gosh.
I get into it, man.
Oh my gosh.
We need to have like a wholesaling flip with Rick tribunal tattoo.
Yeah. You're gonna go bald and be like The Rock. Shave your head and get hell tribal tattoos like The Rock.
I love that dance.
We're not gonna do.
Maybe we need to record one like that. It's not as good
Well,
as the
that's
video we
Polynesian.
have.
That's the Haka.
Polynesian. Yeah.
Those are cool. But
Okay.
I can tell you right now, from that conversation, so many people watching this are nervous to go out there, go on an appointment, go out there to start closing deals. It's easy. I will say it's easy from us going on a pedestal. You know, we've done all these deals. We've done it, guys. We've been in your shoes. And yes, you could say I've always had Rick help me, but when I was cold calling by myself, it was only me. When I had $300 in my bank account, we're doing the bandit signs by myself. I was throwing the bandit signs out, guys. We've all been in situations before where we were nervous and we started out. And there's nothing that will help you get over those nerves except for actually doing it. And I could go through a million analogies.
Yeah,
Action. I don't know. Guys, if you're nervous to cold call, go on the live here. I always get the links out. Go to freewholesaling.com. Go to Wholesaling Houses for Real. Hop on the stream with me, and I'll cold call with you. I don't care.
It's more, I'm telling you, it's more fearful to think about it while you're doing it. Like today, I didn't want to run. It's hot. It's terrible. And then I think about it like 2 hours right before I got to do it. I just threw on my running shoes and just took off.
I didn't
and
want to
you
run
guys
today
got to do
either.
the same thing. You didn't run today.
And I didn't want to run, and I did not run. So
I hate running, but
I worked
I
out,
got to
though. I
do
worked
it
out.
because I'm not 22 anymore.
I ran a marathon. Excuse me. I don't have to run anymore.
Let's hear it.
I quit. I quit running. I still run on the weekends.
Just saying, guys, the fear and the anxiety of like what you're most fearful of is worse than the actual feat. So if you've committed to cold calling, you want to do it. It's like, you ever notice once you start cold calling or whatever it is, door knocking,
when you
cold
start
calling,
running, like once you're a mile in after you're doing a 3 mile, you're like, all right, I'm kind of in it. You know,
the first mile is actually the worst. Actually, the
For
first
you.
0.3 of a mile, it's like, oh my God, man.
You're different than me on there. But Zachary Hamilton's got a good point here. Once you get 1,000 calls in, it'll change your mindset. And that's 100% true. Staying blazed.
But you got to start with call one too. So,
That's it.
you know, it's just, I'm telling you, it feels more satisfying to make the call than to sit there and think about it for 2 hours. You're like, honestly, if you're thinking about 2 hours, just pick up the phone, start ripping through it, get it over with. The worst you can do is say no, and then you'll have an outcome. When you have an outcome, you can make a decision. You can learn from it. If you put it off forever and procrastinate it, it eats at your soul, and it's terrible. I'm telling you guys all the time. I can't tell you ever had like that phone call you didn't want to make and you sit there and think about it. Just make it. Just get it over with.
It's easier.
It's easier. It makes you feel better. And like that's taxing on your body. You didn't get in the wholesaling to like create a tax on yourself. You wanted to change your life. You want to break the cycle, whatever it is. Guys, wholesaling, there's no better way to get started and get your own financial wealth. And honestly, freedom of time. To me, it's the greatest asset. Your time is more valuable than money.
That's it. Good question here. What books are in the background? Any book recommendations for wholesaling? Not for wholesaling specific. I still think freewholesaling.com is the best one
By
to be
far.
going after. So freewholesaling.com. Books that we got, some cool ones. We got a bunch. I'm not going to bring them all out. We got some really old ones that are pretty cool. This is one I really like. I love this book. Something I've read when I was starting out. 40 Days of Success in Real Estate Investing. Older book, but Robert Sheeman is
He's a good guy.
I'm not going to call him the GOAT, but he's pretty up there. He's one of the OGs of real estate. He's probably in Israel right now doing something crazy. So He's a great guy. I'd love to get him on the podcast.
Peter Conti, David Finkel wrote some great books, a little bit more towards the creative side, but it'll open your mind up. So if you guys are getting started out real estate, you want to read books that are simple, that get you excited about it, and like kind of prove the concept to it.
I'll show you right now. So here's some books in the bookshelf. I'll show you real quick. First of all, I got a business law book from my business law class at UF. I think it's important to know some laws. You know, at least you know kind of what to do with laws. That ain't gonna hurt you. Awaken the Giant Within with Tony Robbins.
That's a must.
That's a must book right here. Look how old this book is. It's
so
like
that helps you with your mind. If you don't have your mind right, it's hard to get started in wholesaling.
I got a lot cleaner copy. This is mine. It's a lot cleaner. But that's a cool one.
You do have a cleaner copy.
I do. It's a newer one because this book's older than me. The Giving Tree. I love this book. I think it's a great one.
It's a good one.
This used to freak me out as a kid, but we won't get into that. But guys, just give. That's just a lesson for life, honestly. And last one here for wholesaling, traction. If you're trying to actually scale up a business, traction's one of the best ones.
I'll start with that one. Another one. I know the Rich Dad books are beaten to death, but if you're getting started in that,
buy silver.
But there's one in there, Dolph DeRoos. Probably the first book I read on real estate investing, showing my age now. I believe it's Real Estate Riches. It's part of that book. He has a very simple book where he walks through how he bought churches and all this stuff. And I was just like, it didn't teach me investing. It just taught me to open my mind. So depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to learn techniques, mechanics, and logic, freewholesaling.com, it's in today's world that works and there's no charge for it. If you want to open your mind or maybe bring somebody in, sometimes the spouse or the kid, some of these books that kind of just explain the concept of how you can truly gain wealth is the best way to do it. So there's two types of books in my opinion. And then really anything Tony Robbins does, he's all about getting in the psyche of the human head and just wrapping around why aren't you living your best life and what's stopping you?
Exactly.
Walks you through the questions on that one.
Last couple questions here. Robert says, if a property median, so I guess the market
average,
if the median average is 400,000, should I go for homes that are under 300? What's your recommendation when you come to a median market?
Well, you know, these numbers are rapidly changing in today's world. Crazy. So it's like, I mean, ours is almost doubled here in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. So I would say anything below 400 or 450. I would put an extra like 20, 30, 40 grand on it.
Yeah.
Just because there's going to be in the median. The problem is numbers are going up crazy. So I'd be at like 450.
The reason you stay in the median is because that's where you're going to have the most buyer base.
Yeah.
Once you get up and start doubling that number stuff, your buyer pool shrinks.
And there's deals at the median price point. So I'd definitely keep it up.
Yeah.
Robin says here, this live is like therapy for aspiring entrepreneurs. You're not aspiring, you are an entrepreneur. So
I thought she was talking about the friend zone there for a minute.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Well, therapy, you know,
it's
true. You ever get stuck in there?
Zachary Hamilton.
I need therapy after raising you.
Oh my gosh. Zachary Hamilton says 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and go. I don't think out.
I don't think it out.
I don't think it out. The sellers will do.
He's right.
Talking anyway. Hey guys, sad the Bucks lost last night. Any tips on pitching a sub-2 offer to a seller? Seller thinks that the bank will call the loan due when the title is transferred.
The Bucks?
Milwaukee Bucks. Remember they beat the Heat in the playoffs last year?
Crap, I missed that game last night. I knew I was missing something. I got stuck in a ridiculous movie.
Didn't the Heat win last night?
No,
they played the Magic, right? Oh, they beat the Nets. I forgot. Yeah. James
I thought. Okay.
We beat. I did tell Zach. The Heat beat the Bucks.
They killed them.
They killed them like the first game.
They were ticked off from last year,
yeah.
so they got embarrassed in the playoffs.
Well,
I'd rather
win the finals in that game. But all right. So Zach Nash, he's from actually Milwaukee, so he's not a bandwagon Milwaukee fan, which is nice.
Okay.
He's asking here, any tips on pitching a sub-2? The seller thinks the bank will call the loan due, basically the due on sale clause. What's your opinion on pitching that? And if they already scared that the due on sale clause is going to be on, what's the way you do it?
So, okay. So without getting in a full like creative financing class here is.
Just something real.
Whatever the seller's fear is, if you don't solve it, you don't get a deal.
100%.
You cannot guarantee it. It is a risk. Although I'm going to tell you, I've done a lot of them. I've never had one call. You need to come up and solve. If that's truly their fear and you can't solve it for them, you have to come up with a contingency plan if that happens. And if it's cashing it out with a hard money loan, if it's trying to refinance the property, whatever it is, if that's their only fear, then it's not the worst one, but you have to solve it. You can't skip over it. So come up with a plan to solve it, either to refinance the property, a hard money loan, or just flat out sell it. Most of the time when these come up, they're like, they need their credit score and they need that loan cashed out for them to buy another house. That's one that's almost a killer. Everyone says, well, you can sub it out. I'm telling you, it's not as easy as the gurus tell you it is. It's much more complicated than that. So figure out a contingency plan. Maybe, it's either you personally financially, private, or refinancing, and spell it out. Now, here's the good news. When they call a loan due, it's not like due tomorrow.
Yeah.
They typically know you'd have to put the house on the market and you'd probably get 6 months to a year. Don't hold me to that. I'm not giving you legal advice on it, but I'm telling you, in sub 2, the biggest objection you have is people need you to cash that loan out for them to buy the new loan. And very rarely, like a lot of people say, well, you can do like the debt to income ratio and you can show a lease and you could offset it. I'm just telling you, it's not as simple as that, because it becomes a real problem in my business on that. So in this case, if their only issue is the calling the note due, the odds of it are probably less than 3%, as long as the bank gets their note and it's paid on time.
And if you have the confidence, hey, if the note gets called due, I have my funding team, I have my partners, I'll fund it.
Yeah, in 6 months, could you take care of it?
That's you. Boom, you get rid of that issue.
Yeah,
and then boom, you get the thing done. That's how you deal with the sub 2.
That's kind of an easier one in my opinion.
Yeah. So that's it, guys. So that's how I'd pitch the sub 2, and then you go on the regular one, taking over the mortgage. But that's it. I mean, that's all I can say when you're pitching the sub 2 there. So guys, I really appreciate it, guys. You guys watching this. This is acquisitions, guys. Start closing your deals today. I appreciate everyone showing the value, guys. Watching this right now, smash that like button. You're watching this.
Smash that like button
and subscribe. We'll get it going. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Tomorrow, I will not be on here, but someone's going to be on here.
Yeah, I'll be on here.
I'll be on here. And the long and anticipated live of only Rick Ginn talking about probates.
We're talking. Oh, that's right. We're doing probates.
We're not doing it. You're doing it.
Yeah.
And you are going in the nitty gritty details. You are going from start to finish on probates, guys. You do not want to miss it. It's going to be epic tomorrow.
We'll answer as many questions as
we'll be answering every probate question you possibly can.
We'll go deep.
Go deep. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Blessings, you guys. Thank you so much. Smash the like button and subscribe. Any parting thoughts before we head off?
No, I had a lot of fun doing this one. So I love acquisitions.
What time we're asking? 5 p.m. Eastern.
5 p.m. So get your probates, get your questions, deals you're working on, and let's get it to it. If you're not using probates, I'm going to show you how to go ahead and put them in your business. And it's literally life-changing, the highest, most profitable deals you can do, in my opinion.
That's it. So Zach Ginn signing out. Thank you so much.
Rick Ginn signing out. I appreciate you guys' time, and I'll see you tomorrow.